So, for those of you that have uh, tuned in, this will be the second week of the Walu Child's Healing Message, which I'll be using the Flower of Life Oracle cards for this reading. If you are on one of my social media sites, Instagram or Facebook, you did have a chance to choose a card or choose multiple if they resonate with you. And I would reveal the cards on this video. If you're just now tuning in, you can tune into the cards and see which resonates with you. You may resonate with more than one card, so there is multiple messages here for you. So I'll give you a moment to meditate on the cards. Okay, so we're back. So for those of you that chose the first card, I was guided, by the way, to pull for the groups an orange card for the first group. So whatever card stood out to me that was orange, I was guided to pull that. Whatever card that was green or had some green in it, I was guided to pull. And then the third group, purple. So any purple that stood out to me, I was guided to pull that card. So I don't know what the meaning the meaning is for that. So for the first group, we have the yin and yang card. Okay, it says sit quietly, close your eyes, breathe slowly and deeply. In your mind's eye, imagine a yin yang symbol representing two opposing but complementary forces, something that's found throughout all of nature. Yin is often symbolized as water or earth and is considered the receptive feminine force. Yang is symbolized by fire or wind and is the creative masculine force. While opposites, they are not absolutes. Nothing can exist on our physical plane without its opposite, and neither part is superior to the other. Allow this image to move you to your center, where you feel at one and at peace with your whole being. You are everything. Okay. All right, so for group one, the yin yang card. The first thing that comes to me, or what they're saying to me, is that seasons change. So because everything has a polar opposite, I'm getting that seasons change to me as like I see the wheel of fortune. And the wheel of fortune is like the ups and downs of life. Sometimes you feel like you're at a place, and sometimes you feel as though you're not. For those of you that are going through a period of where you kind of feel hopeless, down, as if nothing's going to ever work out for you, or some things just are not going to pan out. And for many of you, that could be finding a partner. Yin and yang is a it's a symbol of two opposites coming together, and that can mean a various of things, but sometimes it does represent partnerships. So for a lot of you, that's your main focus, and you kind of just feel unlucky when it comes to partnerships or relationships or love. And seasons change, things change. So if you're going through a spell of loneliness right now, it's also important to be one within yourself. Although, the yin and yang is of two different opposites, they are whole as one. If you really look at the symbol, it's one whole piece. So it's also saying that your shadow aspects and your and who you are as a person. So you have aspects of yourself that are uncovered, maybe some aspects of yourself that you're not proud of, or maybe that you're not even aware of at this time. But you dealing with these things within your inner self and your outer world and making them come together, if that makes sense. Um, it brings a wholeness to you. It brings a balance into your life, and then that other person can come in. A lot of times we force a situation and we bring in half people, half pieces of people when we're not whole within our own self. So we attract more of that, and that's where we create these codependent relationships in relationships where we feel like we can't be without one another. Um, we we attract friendships with people that are needy of us. They drain us of our energy. They're users. It's a lot of different things, and we create this because we're missing pieces of ourselves. So we create other individuals who are not also whole within themselves. So in order to have what you want, you do have to become whole within your own self, and that's with anything in life. If you want something solid in your life, whether that, I'm gonna just keep that in there. My cat, I don't have time to edit it, so that it is what it is. My cat, he's messing with my stuff, so I'm just leave it there. But when it comes back to what I was saying, the whole the wholeness with being you, everything needs a balance. There's a good and a bad. There is a happy, there's a sad. There's a fortunate or misfortune. It's all how you perceive things, and being at peace within those situations where you are right now, and know that nothing is really set in stone. Things change, people change, and change is a good thing. um, I feel like when you accept things as a whole, no matter how difficult, no matter how ugly we perceive things to be, our situations to be, know that everything will change. um, and just be accepted with that. That is a part of the universe. There's always going to be opposites. Like they say, opposites attract. We need the contrast. We need that. All right, so enough of that. So the next card is for group 2. If you chose card number 2, you have wisdom. Activate your inner wisdom. Allow the equal amount of positives and negatives about any experience or situation to enter your awareness. When this occurs, they cancel each other out. Healing happens, and all resistance about the situation or experience melts away. You are left feeling soft and easy. The veil of illusion parts, and you have an aha moment. That may go something like this. Now I understand why this was here in my life. That makes so much sense. My life is always showing me how to come back into balance, so I can see and feel my higher wisdom. Today, look where your dreams are in your life instead of where they are not. You are wise. So this kind of has the same message as the yin yang card. So it's basically about your perception, how you view things. It's a change of perception, seeing things for what they are in a different light. So as the card says, when you have that aha moment about a situation and you understand why things are the way they are, or why certain things had to happen in your life, and it helps you change your perception. Instead of saying, I wasn't good enough for the job, that's why they fired me, you instead you look at it, I was let go of that job because there's something better for me. And then you kind of see all the reasons why you were no longer in alignment with that position, or why you're no longer in alignment with that um, relationship, that friendship, whatever it is, a certain group of people, maybe a belief system. You just start to see why you were in that position and where you are now. And you're able to move forward. You have that wisdom. It's kind of like seeing nothing's really negative nor positive. It just is. And there's always going to be that contrast, and it's all for a divine purpose. So it's kind of the same message for the yin and yang. So if you chose both of these cards, it's pretty much telling you how to accept the contrast in life, or the polarities in life, and why things are the way they are, gaining wisdom about those situations and changing the perception, if that makes sense. All right, so for card number 3, we have nature. Take a moment today to stand outside and quiet your thoughts and breathing. Knowing the sun and your soul are always shining, the birds in your heart are always singing, the flowers and your path are always opening up. You don't have to take action, these things into being. You don't have to action these things into being. You just have to turn up. Look around and feel into life. Notice how your dreams and desires surround you in many ways. It may not be a precise thing you desire, though it will give you the same feeling. Look for where your dreams and desires are instead of where they are not. Shift your perception in your life and you will change your life. Sorry. So it's all the same message. So don't be surprised if you chose all three of these cards. It's kind of pretty much the same energy for the other two cards. It's all about changing perception and being within the nature of the situation. So yes, it says to go out in nature, and that is a good thing because it's very healing to step out into nature and to just breathe fresh air and to be around other earthly elements. It also helps you to ground. So if you feel very out of place, very chaotic, overly emotional, maybe overly or action oriented, or maybe too stuck in the mental, it's better to get around the earth elements to help you ground yourself. If you're excessing in emotion, or like I said, if you're just overly in one element, overindulging, you might want to check, another element to help you find some stability, or just stability in all elements of yourself, if that makes sense. So also the nature, it's saying to just be is what I'm getting. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this card came up last week's reading, and I don't know which placement it was, if it was card 1, 2, or 3, but I believe this card came up last week. Being in the nature, what I'm getting is just being, allowing yourself to be in the moment, realizing the situation, and changing your perception. It's like it says, you don't really, it's not that you're at a place where you currently desire, or you don't even know exactly where you're going. You don't know if it's going to lead you to something maybe you've desired in the past, but being in the moment right now, um, just taking time to really sit with why things were. And I think that's important, to see why things were the way they were in a situation, why this may have not happened. Maybe there's a different avenue to bring about your desires, or to help you move forward, if that makes sense. But you're at this point for a reason, and it's really a major thing about perception. It's like you really need to change how you look at things. Okay. Um, I don't think this card came up last week for some reason. I don't know it. I don't know. Seems like I read that card. Maybe I read it for myself. I don't know. But for every one of you, it all has some element of reflecting and gaining wisdom over your situation, to see why it is where I'm here and how do I move forward. Rather than sitting and dwelling in the past and why things happened so much, just see it for what it is, and then look and change your perception. Like, okay, so now I can look here, like I said in the first situation, the first scenario, where you feel like you'll never find a partner. Now that you know why things didn't work out with past relationships, why did people treat me this way, why do my friendships happen to be this way, now that you know that, now it's about changing your perception. Like, okay, now I have a chance to meet someone more in a better alignment with who I am. I know that I am worthy of what I'm wanting. Why I got let go of that job? Well, because I really been wanting to um, do my paintings and sell my paintings, and do art shows, and I haven't had the time to do that with this work. Now I can do that. There's always a way. You can always turn nothing into something, or what you perceive to be nothing. You can always change your situation. It's all about perception, and you have to switch. That's where that polarity comes in. Nothing to something, or something into nothing. That's just the way life works, if that makes sense. There's always a good and an evil, or bad, or however you perceive it. So I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of just running in circles. So I hope that this was healing and helpful to some of you. This video was a little bit out of place. Um, But nonetheless, as long as the message was well received by someone that needs it or someones that need it, that's all that matters. So, as always, I send you lots of love and healing and light, and you have a great rest of your week. Bye bye.